Welcome to Detroit's Darkest Times. We'd like you to subscribe, hit the like and notification bell if you haven't done so already. Today's segment is on movies and up-and-coming movies, documentaries, and up-and-coming documentaries. Make sure you be a part of Detroit's Darkest Times on YouTube. Stay with us, grow with us. Make sure you hit the like. Also, you can share these videos. That being said, let's get into it. I want to mention some of the shows that I like, some of the movies that I like. Excuse me. Which is Beverly Hills Cop, Uncle Buck, Trading Places, Airplane, to name a few. But today we want to let y'all know there's a new documentary being worked on. I don't know if y'all familiar with White Boy Rick, but he's got a new doc coming. They're actually working on it. Just got started on it. So I'm not for sure when it would be out, but they're actually working on it. It's going to have more of the truth of his story than the first documentary was. So that's going to be interesting to see and check out. And also they're going to film some in Michigan, some in Miami, and some in the Caribbean. So I'm sure this is going to be a real good one because it's going to be more of the real truth and what actually happened. So people be looking forward to this, and I'm sure it's going to be a good documentary. And any documentary that's got the real truth in it, to me, is the best documentary. Because I know that people do documentaries and they put some Hollywood in it and stuff like that, but if it ain't authentic, then, you got people that watch the documentary thinking everything they watched was what really happened. And I'll be the first to tell you on the White Boy Rick documentary, the first one, was not everything that actually happened. So there's a lot of Hollywood involved in it. So this new one that he's working on, he has control of it. So it's going to be a lot that really happened. And a lot of the players and stuff like that was involved. So that's going to be interesting to check out. And Rick's had a hell of a journey. Went through a lot of different scenarios. and things of that nature. I remember being in high school and when he was actually going to trial years back. And I always wondered about the guy as years pass. And it's just been a hell of a story for him. Well, actually a reality for him, but a hell of a story for everybody else to actually hear all the stuff that he had, went through and things of that nature. So I just wanted to jump on here to let y'all know that there's a new doc being worked on, White Boy Rick doc. And so that's going to be something to look forward to. I don't know when it'll be finished or when it'll be released, but we're actually looking forward to seeing it. And things like that. But the journey that Rick Wersey Jr. went through, people can only just imagine all the obstacles that he went up against and all the challenges, stuff like that. You could just hear the story, but a lot of folks ain't got no clue the journey this dude's been on. So really, we're proud that he's a free man, and we're proud that he's doing positive things with his life and for others and things of that nature. But in life, you just never know, especially as a young man. You never know what's coming towards you, and you don't know what you're going to dodge and what you're going to accept and what you're going to go through if you make certain decisions and things of that nature. And so hopefully everyone go check this new doc out of White Boy Rick when it's available and see the real story, what really happened. Because like I said, the White Boy Rick movie, the first one, it's an interesting show, but it was, nowhere near what really happened. So with him having control of this go around, you're going to see a lot of things that really happened and a lot of players that was involved and things of that nature. But our message to people is, especially our young generation, is try to make good decisions in life, because the decisions you make kind of predicts your future. So, and a lot of people don't realize the kind of things they're up against and what they may go through until later in life. when they get very mature, a lot older. And then they could look back on things that they did or the choices they made and just know that, you know, it's important to make good decisions. It's important to treat people the way you want to be treated. It's important to help out people when you can. Uh, no matter if it's just giving somebody directions, buying them a cup of coffee, whatever the case may be. Just in general, just be a good person and do good things. And you'll see that life is will be good to you, you know. Also, we want to say don't never forget where you came from, no matter how big you get, how grown you get, how much money you get, what position you get in life. Don't never forget where you came from. So make sure that always stays with you, and that'll make you a good person. You know what I mean? Also, when I was coming up in Detroit City, we had parents, but we also had street parents. And what I mean by that is if somebody seen you doing wrong, they would go let your parents know about it. Or if they seen you out pretty late, they would tell you to, it's time to get back to the house, like that. And these people knew you from the neighborhood, you know what I mean? And but basically people looked out for each other and looked out for people's children and things like that. And that's what you got to do today is, people's got to look out for each other. You got to look out for children and, uh, just keep your neighborhood in good shape as far as guiding the children and the youth, the young folks on a good path. And, teaching them right from wrong and stuff like that as they're growing and as they become a teenager and things of that nature. Because it's real important to take care of our children, take care of other people's children, and take care of each other. And in this way, whatever the older generation teaches the younger generation, it'll stay with them as they get older. Just like it stayed with me when I was a young man in Detroit City, and things that people have, taught me, said to me, what my parents taught me, said to me, stuff like that. So that stays with you all your life. So it's real important to mold your children into a good person and teach them how to maneuver in life, because you're not always going to be around your children. And when they get older and start running around with their friends and things of that nature, they're going to have to make decisions on their own. But as they're coming up at the house, when you got rules to go by, chores to do, and things of that nature, when they get out and they're roaming around with their friends and the parents are not around, they could still make some good decisions and know right from wrong and things of that nature. And treat one another with respect, be good to each other, and honor each other. So that being said, I just wanted to jump on here to name a few shows that I like. Let y'all know there's a new doc coming up of White Boy Rick. And just basically share my thoughts and things of that nature. But that being said, shout out to Rick Wersey Jr., his crew, his family, and we wish him nothing but the best. Shout out to Detroit and everywhere else around Detroit. This is Detroit's Darkest Times, and we're out.